And yeah, welcome back. Let's do that. We're now doing the Light Tenebria showcase. What's her name? Uh, Witch of the Mere Tenebria. All right.
Since you came all this way, I'll show you the other side of this world.
It's a really
Show
cool
you
character, ain't gonna lie.
presage. Your freedom is only but an illusion.
A very nice Esprit animation.
Meet again. Hopefully, it's different this time.
Witch of the Mere Tenebria, advisor to the King of Castamere, and an
Okay.
oracle of
120
infallible
base speed. I saw that.
prophecies. When word spread that even the hero who ended the
She's
War
with
of the
Luna.
Dragons was deferential to Tenebria, her authority rose above even that of the king, and she now roams the palace freely under the protection of high officials who rely on her prophecies. Witch of the Mere Tenebria is a
Right. So yeah, she has 120 base speed. She has okay attack, I guess, for a mage. I don't think she's a DPS or whatever, but if she's not a DPS, then she does have decent attack. If she's not a DPS, she has no effectiveness though. Of 120 base speed, very fast. Okay,
5-star light
and
elemental
she
mage.
is a mage, so she can hold book.
She has high speed and health.
Oh, bro, the AI cut off there, bro.
She
Hello,
has high speed and health.
bro. Hello.
Skill 3. Mirror of the Abyss. Traps all enemies in a timeless space beyond the mirror, dispelling 2 buffs before inflicting block for 2 turns and a random debuff for 1 turn.
Okay, so go back to this one. Okay. Anyway, traps all enemies in a timeless space. Yeah. Dispelling 2 buffs before inflicting block. All enemies. Block for 2 turns and a random debuff for 1 turn. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%. So she also has a 50% combat readiness push on herself. A lot of units are getting that now to synergize with Para. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Okay. So they didn't put the description down here. Oh, here's the random debuffs are stun, sleep, redirect, to provoke. These are the random ones. So she could stun you for 2 turns. So it's a 100% chance to do this. Right. Stun, sleep, redirect, provoke. All of those I think are very crucial. I ain't gonna lie. Like the sleep one, like stun is stun. Obviously, you can probably put a crown on there to have more chances if you want. But sleep, obviously, when you're sleeping, you can't evade and stuff like that. Obviously. And then redirect to provoke is gonna keep her safe because she doesn't start the battle. She does give herself stealth on the S2 if I remember correctly, but she doesn't start off in stealth. So if you can get her fast enough and land that redirect to provoke to get them off of you, so you can S2 safely, then yeah.
Traps all enemies in a timeless space beyond the mirror, dispelling 2 buffs before inflicting
I like the mirror here on her
enemies
sprite
in
as
a
well.
timeless space
Let me see.
beyond
Does
the
it
mirror,
capture her movements?
dispelling 2 buffs before
It does capture her movement, so it's not just a still image. That's nice. They put a lot of work into the sprite.
inflicting block for 2 turns and a random debuff for 1 turn. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%.
Okay.
Skill 2. Consuming Grasp.
Consuming grasp.
After inflicting Rupture on all enemies for 2 turns,
Oh, they did fix the video. In the live stream, the effects was not here. When attacked, inflicts additional damage proportional to max health. Okay. So this is proportional to your max health or the enemy that has the debuff on them. I think it is. Because I think it's the enemy that has it on them. So it's kind of like a 3F. Like it's kind of like putting a debuff on them that makes them take 3F damage. So imagine you have 3F, and especially now since people are trying to do a bunch of cascade. There's like cascade with Renak with the cascade team with her and Dragon King Sharoon on there. If you can give Cascade as well, and then you can Cascade plus this, and then plus maybe a Bellion or something like that for a 3F proc. Ugh, that's gonna be disgusting. Obviously, FCC is gonna stop this,
all
but you know.
enemies
And I
has
saw
up
that they
to a
were fighting an
100%
FCC, so
chance to inflict restrict for 2 turns. Grants stealth
yeah, there's FCC
and
there.
a barrier proportional to level to the caster for 2 turns.
So the damage might not
And
look
a barrier proportional to
because it's a prolonged thing, right? It's supposed to be like a prolonged fight,
to the
right?
caster for 2
I think that's the kind of unit she is, like a control or a unit that you bring over a prolonged time, right?
turns.
This in Frenzy is gonna. If you ever go to Frenzy, like a few Frenzy stages, it's gonna hurt. Um. Yeah, so the damage might not look that great, but just remember that FCC is cutting this by half. Just like in the Hwayoung showcase, the Summer Hwayoung showcase, there was a Ilanov here cutting off how much pen damage she did, right, into that Arunka. So just keep that in mind. FCC is reducing a lot of the damage here. And those of you who are wondering about that AoE block, by the way, where'd she go? Block is something that a lot of people do not like because Brigida is whatever, right? It's a single target thing. Nobody really cares. But they didn't put it here. But what block does is it you can if the unit itself that has block on it. So if the unit itself that has block on it, you cannot be cleansed. You cannot be cleansed. You cannot be buffed. And there's also some other beneficial effects you can't really receive, right? Unless provided by the unit itself. So if you have block on AoE, that means now you cannot use like a hand guy to try and cleanse your team of it. It won't work because you cannot cleanse unless you cleanse yourself. So think of things like Janua. When he activates his passive, he cleanses himself and he buffs himself. He can do that. If you use a unit like ML Celine, when she presses her S3, she's not gonna cleanse her whole team. She's only gonna cleanse herself. Same thing with any other cleanser, right? Any other cleanser that cleanses. I want to know if how this interacts with a Tywin, but it might just cleanse a Tywin himself. But yeah, that things like this, it's very on paper. It's a very dangerous debuff to have in the game, since there's not really much play around it. Which obviously they're just gonna release a bunch of more units that's gonna self cleanse themselves or immune to debuffs in some kind of way. There's gonna be things like for example, Emma Hwayoung, who's already immune to debuffs, she can be very good into this team, and plus Tenebria is light, so Hwayoung is going to enjoy her, right? He's gonna enjoy her. Things like A-Flan with her evasion, things like that. You know how it goes. But yeah, it's a very dangerous debuff.
A barrier proportional to level to the
Let's see this barrier, by the way, because I heard it was mid. This barrier looks very small for some reason. This is the same mechanical, like the same barrier technically that's on a unit like Blue Para, and you see how big Blue Para's barrier is, right? Because it's proportional to the level. But I think something is wrong in this video here, because it's supposed to be way bigger than that.
Skill 1.
Okay, skill 1.
Mirror Fragment. Attacks the enemy with a mirror, with up to a 100% chance to inflict one random debuff.
Random debuff include poison, decrease speed, decrease defense. Okay. Decrease defense and decrease speed is probably what you were more inclined to use in PvP. The poison is more for PvE. I mean, you can probably use her in PvE too. Like press S3, press S1. She has dual attacks with the highest attack unit, so you can play around with her. If a new player gets her, you can play around with her. You know. When Mirror of the Abyss is on cooldown, which is the S3, I believe, right? Yeah, it is. The S2 is Grasp. It triggers a dual attack from an ally with the highest attack. Soulburn grants an extra
for
turn.
1 turn. When Mirror of the Abyss is on cooldown, triggers a
So yeah,
dual
here you
attack from
can
the ally with the
how many
highest
souls? How many
attacker of
souls?
the
20?
abyss
Yeah, 20
is on
souls.
cooldown, triggers a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack. When 20 soul is consumed, grants an extra turn.
That Bellion is not on 3F. So imagine this plus 3F plus like a cascade or something. You're gonna eat a lot, and FCC is over there, right? So this is getting all of this is getting cut into half, and the Bellion doesn't have 3F.
Shall offer you a presage.
Also, this is probably one of the only, if I want to say only units that's not a World Cup unit that's getting 2 animations. Usually it's only World Cup units that get that kind of thing.
Grants an extra turn.
Or specialized units like A-Flan and things like that. But when it comes to MLs, I can't think of an ML that has a special animation on S2, like a special second animation besides S3 that's not a World Cup unit.
For you a presage.
Not right now.
Your freedom is only but an illusion.
I guess she is technically a World Cup unit. You can count her as like having 2,
The
you know.
Frosty Peaks, who manipulates nightmares.
She's there with Luna. She's there with Luna and FCC. That don't even make no sense, bro. It's supposed to be like her, Luna, and Euphine or something. Why is FCC there, bro? Come on now.
Ridicule her victims. Players will be able to meet Witch of the Mere Tenebria through the Mystic Summon starting July 10th.
All right, 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, combat demo. Let's see this. So, yeah, this is terrible at the start, anyways. Let's see.
I can take you in my sleep.
She hit the crowd.
What a walk in
That don't even make sense. I like her theme, bro. Her theme is really good. By the way, most people here would just kill the Tenebria if you outspeed with Renak. You kill the you kill the Tenebria and then you kill the crowd doesn't do nothing because Ilanov is here, right? And we have FCC as well with the Aureus. So most people, if they outspeed her like that, it is just gonna kill her. I guess that's one of her issues. She's a little bit. She is fast unit, 120 base. Speed is fast. I mean, she's not like 126, like 126 plus, you know, or that 124 where she could be closer there. But you know, she's still fast. And all of people are gonna build her really fast. But you saw she got outsped by the Renak, right? They're trying to use her in a turn 2 team, which is I think is gonna be rough to use her like that because they're either gonna Zeo her or just kill her right there. On that first turn with Renak, and then Carl is useless. Carl is useless. Even if Bellion has 3F, she's kind of useless because FCC is here, alright? And she's just gonna keep cycling Arunka. So yeah, that was the play right there. Oh well, I know they want to do the showcase, but that's why I say sometimes the showcase don't show you the unit at its best, you know.
I shall offer you a presage.
Or at its worst.
Your freedom is only but an illusion.
So she landed redirect provoke on everybody. That's so funny. She landed redirect provoke on everybody. I wonder if it chooses one debuff and just uses it on everybody, or is it that did she just happen to roll that RNG?
I'll finish this first. Then go have
She got a 50% CR push, and then she's gonna get 30% here from DJB as well. Come back up at the top.
You desire. You'll be
Valiant's gonna push back with the provokes. She has very good synergy with like control units or a lot of debuff units. So by herself, again, this team specifically, I don't see her being that strong, right? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the showcases don't do them justice. But you can imagine her if you run her with like, you know, Fairy Tail Tenebria and she lands those redirects and then the unit go like Ilanov gets pushed up from the AoE, right? And then she goes because she's redirect provoked, and then Fairy Tail could follow up with her passive as well. It's very, she has very good synergy with other debuffers. So by herself, some people might not think she's that broken, but when you combine her with things like a Lidica and like anything else, like imagine you cannot cleanse your team. So imagine you go with her, you put block on the enemy team, right? You put block on the enemy team, you follow up with like a Lidica could go first actually. Lidica could go her, and then you follow up with like a ML Araminta, like a bomb unit, like Caesarea. Like I think she's gonna be really good synergy with those things. In this team that she's in right now, it is not showing her. I don't think it's showing her full power, but
How does it feel playing the fool? Feel free to scream.
her theme music is really good. They still managed to like win here, but that should have never happened. They sniped the Tenebria at the start of the battle. She's gone. All right.
I'll show you how it's done.
I have to build up a DJB actually.
It is I.
It is focus down the Arunka.
Are you done?
She's
struggling?
provoked. That Arunka has no ER. That's actually something else I noticed as well. So she doesn't ignore ER, so you can ER stack. Actually, if you have ML Arya, you can probably like ignore this unit and just say, "Huh, nice debuffs," you know. But yeah, this Arunka has no. She should not be getting provoked by a Bellion.
It's almost horrific how naive you are.
Okay.
Going out
She's also not on any damage artifacts. Probably on Proof of Valor
was quite fun.
or something like that. Who did she go into? She went back into the crowd when she already pilfered the crowd. When the crowd was already pilfered. So, yeah.
That all?
It's not even. It's not even making Renak look good. You know.
Quite the awful mess.
There we go. If that was 3F, they would have been dead a long time ago. And because they have block on them, the thing is, because they have block on them, Ilanov cannot cleanse them, right? Even if Ilanov didn't get redirected provoked, she cannot cleanse Arunka because block. You cannot cleanse the person. They can only cleanse themselves, you know.
Must I keep fighting? This is an emergency.
Is it my turn?
We cannot afford to waste time.
Boom.
Will I do anything for you, darling?
Yeah, I expect Raz to deal with this somehow, cause they're rivals, right? And surely they don't make the same mistake of like what they did with FCC, because the FCC and Luna are rivals, and then they tried to make her a certain way, and then now she feels like a Luna rival somewhat, right? She's not 100% there, but she feels like one. Because if you build like a faster FCC, you put some effectiveness, you could just push back that seal, you know. It's very fun when it happens. But yeah, that's been Tenebria. I think she's gonna. I think she's not seeing her true potential in this clip. They never do them justice, really. Same with the previous video, the Hwayoung one. They had a pen unit into Emma Ilanov, right? So kind of downplaying the unit damage a little bit. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But she's gonna have some good synergies with control comps and things like that. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the next one.